Joal Harding here. We're going over some putting aids for you, and all of the links will be in the video description below. So we have the Perform Better band, we have the putting connection, we have Martin Chuck's Smart Ball, and we also have a rubber band that I've placed around the head of the putter to make sure that we hit it in the sweet spot. There are some fancier devices that you can use for the sweet spot, but this is one that you already have. I will link the fancier kind that adheres to the face of the club in the description below as well. So let's start with a few of the things that you can do all at once. We're going to have the band across just above the knees. We're going to use the Smart Ball. I've deflated it just a little bit to make it a little softer so that we maintain that triangle with the arms and engage the upper body. You might want to feel like your triceps are up against the rib cage and you're just using it to go back and through and keeping everything engaged so we don't get loosey-goosey, as my pro used to call it. So we're going to go to about 25 feet away. I have some bowling pins set up there. We want to get to our target and have it go by. If it's going to 15 to 17 inches by is the optimal speed at which the ball needs to be rolling in order to fall into the hole. There are 4 doors, so you've got the front door, 2 side doors, and the back door, right? So we're looking to have some good momentum with the golf club, a 2-to-1 pace. So that means that when we take it back, we're going to accelerate twice as fast as we took it back. So when I take it back, say it takes half a second, it should take me just a quarter of a second to get back to the golf ball as I'm putting through the golf ball to my target. The starting line is very important, and if it's a breaking putt, obviously you want to have a starting line that allows for that break. So what we'll be doing is popping the ball between, getting set up. I'm looking at my starting line. This is a face balanced putter, so the ball position's a little bit more toward the center. I'm keeping a bit of engagement with my lower body because instead of allowing the band to collapse my knees in, I'm putting a little outward pressure. I'm engaging my core and back and through. So we're listening for that ball, for the putter to hit the ball, to go through the ball. We're not looking as our putter comes into or goes through that golf ball. If you watch the tour players, we are just taking that putter back and through and then looking at our result. So that takes care of 3 of our devices. So I'm going to just slip these off and show you how the putting connection works. So the putting connection is also a device that I use all the way back when I was on tour, and I really enjoy it. It helps the student to really get that sensation of that connection of the whole upper body and torso working. Some people just like to feel arms, and that works as well. Some people enjoy the rocking of the shoulders. This is adjustable, so you want a little bit of pressure on the biceps, and I'll just show you what that looks like. And you can make it as small as this setting, but then if you have a larger person that needs a little bit more width there, you can make it work as well. So same idea, just watch the lower body, stays very still, and just a rocking back and through of the shoulders or the torso with a little bit of through motion, always to your target, starting it on the starting line and then allowing for the break, falling in the hole. So now we have a chalk line drill. Simply you place it on the ground with 3 tees, one where the golf ball goes, one as a bumper so that you don't take the putter too far back, and then one to be sure that you take the putter through 2. That's what we're looking for, through to the target. We also have a ring that's set inside of our hole that typically is around 4 inches, a little over 4 inches, so we make it even smaller, and that way when you get to the golf course, the hole looks like a basketball hoop, so it makes it even easier to make your putt. So you want to be sure that you're taking it short back and through. So our purpose here is for every inch you take the putter back, the ball goes a whole foot. And we want to be sure that we're stroking through the ball. This is what we typically see in our students. If the ball is here, and even if they make the putt, they take it too far back and decelerate, and then they are getting some feedback that says, oh, the ball went in the hole, must have been a good stroke, but the stroke is much too long and decelerating. So every inch, 1 foot, short and crispy. So boom, the next aid that we have is an elastic string. You'll see many of the men and women on tour using this. It has 2 little posts like knitting needles that poke right down into the ground. There's a bead that is for the golf ball, 1 for the backstroke and 1 for the through stroke, and they are adjustable. So for whatever length of putt that you have, that's within about 15 feet, you can use this great string. So it's a visual to have the eyes over the golf ball and have the putter head go back and through along that line. It's very nice to have both the chalk line and this to be using on the golf course. They're packable, you can travel with them, and not that you want to use it on the golf course, but when you're here on the putting green, practicing before your round, of course. We have another practice training aid called the Perfect Practice. It has a mirrored surface. It has lines for you it's as a grid, so for your club head to come in squarely to your golf ball through to your hole. And it has holes in it as well for the tees to be sure that the club head stays square, and 1 so that you don't take the putter too far back. You do not have to use the tees with the device. It does help it to stay in place, but you could also use this at home. So it's a wonderful training aid to take with you back and forth from the practice area. So you're looking for the eyes to be straight down and putter straight back and straight through. Easy as that. In this section, we're putting balls at north, south, west, and east. You are starting from the shortest ball and working your way back. Each color combo of balls is slightly different in distance from the hole. Be sure to take the putter straight back, straight through, and listen for the ball to go in. This is our second to last device we'll be using today, and it is called the EyeLine Edge Putting Rail. Again, links in all the descriptions below. So this is going to be one of the easiest things that you do. You're going to have the heel of the putter, make sure that it takes a ride on the back side of this putting edge. There are tees that go right down in the back of the device to ensure that it stays stable while you're putting. Just be sure that you get it lined up well before you pop those tees down. So again, the ball goes right in the center. The heel of the putter goes directly onto the device. Be sure eyes are relatively over golf ball. It has these nice big, I call them teeth, that you can make sure that you take the club back and through to, and just go straight back and straight through. It's as easy as that to get a great feel for what we need to make those 15 footers and in. The last device we'll be using is your smartphone holder on your training stick. Again, if you're going to use it on the practice putting green, put it out on the fringe of the green so you don't make a larger hole in your practice putting green. And you're going to place this anywhere up and down the pole in order to get worm cam for what the club head is doing, and a little bit further back to be sure that the lower body is staying just like we want it, nice and still from the waist down like a statue, just using the arms and shoulders and possibly feeling the engagement of the rib cage and the torso. So that's it for your putting aids for today. Enjoy them, buy them, they're inexpensive and very, very useful for that 43% of your golf score.